You really can't watch TV without seeing an infomercial, and the items they sell, let's face it, they look pretty handy, but Annie Taylor's testing these products to see if they actually work.
These days, it seems like everybody is selling something. And when you watch TV, you cannot watch it without coming across an infomercial where people are selling things that seem pretty useful. So we decided to buy some and try some.
This is Easy Moves.
Ooh, gives me 10 times my natural strength. Easy Moves claims you can move furniture without the help from a friend. It was definitely easy to put together and understand how to use it. With some arm strength, I got the lever to lift up the legs of the chair to place the pads underneath it. All right, time for the slide. Whoa! For $19.99, we have to give the Easy Mover a thumbs up.
The brand new Pocket Hose Brass Bullet.
Garden hoses can be bulky, heavy, and just annoying, but not the Pocket Hose. It claims it's compact, but yet can unravel to 50 feet when the water's turned on, and then shrinks back up when the water gets turned off. Whoa! When you first pull the hose out of the box, it is not 50 feet like it claims. You have to stretch the hose to get it longer. And when we turn the water off, it really did shrink back up. Maybe not all the way, but it was noticeable. So was it worth the $15.99? I'll give it a thumbs up because it is lightweight, worked well, and sort of shrunk back up.
The Egg Sitter Cushion.
So cushiony, you can sit on an egg without breaking it. The Egg Sitter, essentially a chair cushion. Clearly it's cushiony, but they said you can put an egg on it. Wow, it didn't break, and we tried it 3 times. But we also decided to test it with someone bigger.
It didn't break.
Okay, that's just crazy. The egg didn't break, and the cushion is super soft. We give it a big thumbs up for $29.99. When you see these items on TV being sold, you don't necessarily think they're going to work. But again, we put all 3 to the test, and we were surprised. They all did exactly what they claimed they could do. I'm Annie Taylor reporting.
Hey, there you go, Annie. Thank you. All right. A lot of people do admit these days, it's a reality of the workplace that they're getting bullied on the job. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean that you need to quit your job. So tomorrow, we have some advice on other steps you can take.
And as we get you ready for the upcoming weekend, yeah, we're halfway through the week, but we've got some weather changes here. Tomorrow's going to be a beautiful day, 78 with partly sunny skies, that chance for some showers and thunderstorms, especially as we get into the second half of Friday through the evening. So again, some of those high school football games, a little breezy, a little damp out there, but the colder air filtering in here to kick off the weekend. 38 degrees by Saturday morning. Again, we could have some patchy frost, 65 though by Sunday. The news at 6 o'clock starts right now.
This is RTV6 News at 6, working for you.
People in Hancock County are unhappy with how INDOT is treating cracking roads. I'm Stephanie Wade talking to them about why they think this is creating more problems than solutions.
A disturbing case of possible animal abuse in Hancock County. We'll have the latest on the investigation.
And scooter safety alert. What happened to one man when he tried to bring the scooter he was riding on to a halt? Now at 6 tonight, a Lafayette car dealership and Mercedes-Benz are the targets of a federal racial discrimination lawsuit. A former sales manager who spent 30 years with Mercedes-Benz claims the dealership systematically overcharged African Americans. Jeffrey Turner claims that he was fired from Mercedes-Benz Lafayette in retaliation for complaining about the head of the auto group's repeated use of the N-word, including boasting about regularly overcharging African Americans for vehicles. The lawsuit claims Turner was fired in 2017 for insubordination after reporting the allegations to Mercedes-Benz North America.
I've been recognized with achievement after achievement, recognition after recognition, but at this point we drew the line in the sand when the derogatory vulgarities were used, and they were used with such ease and with so much, they were effortlessly used. So I have to go on with my life, which I intend to do, but at this particular point, Mercedes-Benz needs to change their culture.
Turner is asking for a jury trial and unspecified damages. We have reached out to the dealership and Mercedes-Benz, but have not heard back. New tonight at 6, a local farmer makes a disturbing discovery. A dog killed and left in a Hancock County field. Authorities are trying to figure out what happened, but as RTV6's Megan Santorum found out, there are still a lot of unanswered questions.
The Hancock County farmer tells us he found the dog covered in blood while working in this field, and he's not sure why anyone would want to hurt it. It's something John Shaw says he never expected to find.
It's disgusting. It just honestly is.
A 10-month-old dog killed and left not far from the road.
And it still had its collar on, leash attached, and it had a stuffed animal laying there beside it. It's very sad.
Greenfield Hancock County Animal Management is now investigating. They tell us the dog appeared to have injuries to its head, and right now, they don't think the death was accidental.
He doesn't appear to be malnourished or, starved, anything like that, so it's kind of strange for a dog to just end up there.
Even more strange, she says the farmer found a bloody crate in the area about a week prior.
So we're not sure if it's someone did this maliciously.
The dog's microchip led them to the owner. He told investigators he adopted the dog named Boss a few months ago from Indianapolis Animal Care Services. He said he was unable to care for the dog, so he gave it away. He didn't know much about the man he gave the dog to, though, and couldn't provide a last name. Now investigators are trying to find that person and figure out what happened.
Why couldn't you just take it back to a shelter or give it back to the person who given it to you? Whatever possesses someone to be this cruel to an animal who can't defend itself?
If he'd do this to an animal, what would he do to a child or anything else?
As a dog owner himself, Shaw too wants answers.
I hope they find him, and I hope they give him everything that he's got coming. There's 3 things you don't mess with: my wife, my family, or my dogs.
Investigators are still looking to piece together exactly what happened, and they're asking anyone with information to come forward. Working for you in Hancock County, Megan Santorum, RTV6.
Well, the director of the Greenfield Hancock Animal Management says if you are unable to care for your pet, you should take it back to the shelter. If the shelter is unable to take the animal back, they can at least provide resources to make sure it ends up in a good home.
Folks in Hancock County say their cars are taking a beating. They are unhappy with how INDOT is treating cracking roads and say the material is cracking windshields, chipping paint, and creating problems for motorists. RTV6's Stephanie Wade asked the state why they repair roads this way.
The chip and seal is very dangerous in my opinion. They've done it on several county roads. Cracked windshields. I've heard nothing but complaints about it.
Tony Seiler lives in Hancock County and likes to drive his motorcycle. He takes State Road 234 often. But last week, INDOT laid down what's called chip and seal treatment to fill cracks and better maintain the road for the future.
There has been 2 occasions where I was going on a normal pavement and they were working on the chip and seal road and I hit gravel that wasn't clearly marked. And those 2 times I did hold on for dear life.
A move criticized by people who live there and say the rocks go flying, breaking windows and windshields, chipping car paint.
I don't know one person that likes it. Everyone that I've ever talked to about it, they're all opposed.
So why is the road being repaired in this manner? Well, frankly, it's cheaper, about 1/10 of the price cheaper. INDOT tells me they resurfaced State Road 234 about 3 years ago, and they typically resurface roads every 10 years. So they used chip and seal in the meantime to fill in the cracks.
We're constantly coming up with new routes that aren't chip and sealed. But if you're going 50 to 60 miles an hour down a normal pavement road and you hit the chip and seal, you feel the difference and you hold on until you can slow down.
So motorists will have to keep holding on. Working for you, Stephanie Wade, RTV6.
Thanks, Steph. And people can file tort claims with the Attorney General against INDOT if their cars have been damaged from the gravel. They have 90 days to determine if the tort claim will be paid.
And RTV6 is not letting up on an apartment complex management at Lexington Green and Villa Capri and Speedway. We told you last night how several people living there don't have hot water. They have little hope the water tank will be fixed because they say their other maintenance requests have been ignored. Today, the Marion County Health Department went to the complex and tell us if needed, they plan to write orders for the complex to fix things. RTV6 is still calling and emailing Barrett Asset Management, working for you to get answers about if and when they plan to make repairs at the complex they own.
Now to your Storm Team 6 forecast, and it warmed up nicely this afternoon after a chilly start this morning. But changes are ahead in the forecast. Storm Team 6 Chief Meteorologist Kevin Gregory is tracking what's ahead for you.
I think one of the first changes, we'll see some clouds tomorrow. We haven't seen clouds for a while, right? And then some thunderstorms on Friday. Right now, another spotless evening. A beautiful sunset is on the way, and temperatures have been comfortable once again. 74 in Indy, low to mid 70s everywhere, just a little above average for this time of year. We should be in the upper 60s. I want to talk about what happens through the evening hours, down to 62 by 11 o'clock. We'll call it partly cloudy. Temperatures will be in the 50s in the morning. That's a shift from temperatures that have been in the 40s. Well, off to the northwest, northern plains, Dakotas back into Montana and Wyoming, 6 to 12 inches of snow. As we head to Friday, I wanted to point this out because that's the cold side of the storm system that will do this to our temperatures, drop those into the 50s for highs on Saturday and 30s for lows. We'll have more on the transition to very fall-like weather coming up.
Every one of you needs to resign. Do what Mr. Springer did. Come forward, resign. Let us get a brand new group of people in here that'll do something to save our kids.
Outrage in Hendricks County over the sudden departure of a school superintendent. The Northwest Hendricks School Board accepted the resignation of its superintendent, Michael Springer, last night. It's not sitting well with parents and some of the people who work in the district. Call 6 Investigates' Kara Kenny has been following this issue from the start and joins us now with today's new developments. Kara.
Thank you, Amanda. This controversy all stems from how the school board has handled sexual misconduct allegations involving Tri-West teacher and coach Tyler Bruce. The board kept Bruce on staff despite the superintendent's recommendation to fire Bruce. Last night, the superintendent officially resigned. Parents expressed their concerns to the board, and things got heated when the board president told one man his time was up.
Let us move forward with the goals of protecting our children as first and second priorities. Let us resolve to be open and honest and humbly speak the truth in love.
It was standing room only at last night's board meeting. The superintendent won't say why he stepped down, but we know Mike Springer and the board have clashed over the handling of Tyler Bruce and sexual misconduct allegations. Bruce is under criminal investigation, but he has not been criminally charged, and he denies wrongdoing. The board kept 2 other employees on staff who were accused of mishandling the Bruce matter, again going against the superintendent's recommendation. Some homeowners and taxpayers say it's the board who should resign, not Springer.
Your job as elected members of this board is to first protect our children while they're entrusted to this school system. And second, first is to protect, second is to educate them. Nothing else you place on your agenda, no other thing you do trumps that thing.
Well, good job getting rid of the superintendent, guys. That was good. You know, he was doing nothing but trying to do the right thing. And you guys shoved him out because you didn't want to go along and do the right thing.
Tuesday was Springer's last day. The board says their business manager will now take on superintendent duties in the meantime. The board provided a statement to RTV6 saying, our school board will be actively recruiting over the next several months for the next superintendent of the corporation. We appreciate the support of our students, teachers, staff, parents, and school community as we lead the response to these personnel decisions. We have requested a copy of the severance agreement several times, the agreement between Springer and the district, and we are still waiting on that document. Springer's contract was not set to expire until June 2020. Mark?
A case we'll still be following up on. Thank you, Kara, for the update. RTV6 is working for you tonight with a warning about those scooters you see everywhere. Be on the lookout for vandalism that could jeopardize your safety. Charlie Elliott shared these pictures with us after he discovered that the brake line was cut on that Lime scooter that he picked up downtown Monday. He only discovered the damage after he tried to stop. Luckily, he said the scooter had an internal mechanism that helped slow it down.
I mean, you should check your scooter. I think that's the lesson I learned, is I'll look the whole thing over rather than just assuming that it's good to go.
That's exactly what Lime told us when we reached out to them about this. Riders should always check to make sure the scooters are working properly. Lime says it's only found 2 scooters in the past few weeks where this has happened, but remains on the lookout for additional cases. The company says it will take legal action against those who commit vandalism.
Our Hiring Hoosiers initiative works to connect you with job opportunities now and in the future. Today, the city of Westfield announced the promise of hundreds of new jobs. Gordon Food Services is building its new state-of-the-art distribution center in the Hamilton County community. The facility is expected to create more than 200 jobs initially, with more than 400 by the end of 2025. The 500,000 square foot facility will be located in the North Point Industrial Park. It is expected to open in late 2021, with hiring to begin in late spring of that year. Hourly wages are expected to range from $20 to $25 an hour. An apartment filling with smoke, police officers rushing into the rescue.
Tonight, we see what they saw as they rushed into the burning building.
And some big wins on the football field for some of the area's smallest schools. Coming up in sports, a closer look at 3 unbeaten teams that are hoping their success continues all the way to the state finals.
My spirit connects with that.
This is RTV6 News at 6, working for you.
Today we are getting a first-hand look at the smoke-filled Cumberland apartment building that 4 police officers raced in to help save several people early yesterday morning. 3 IMPD officers and a Cumberland police lieutenant arrived at the Cumberland Manor apartments a couple of minutes before firefighters. This is body cam footage from Cumberland Police Lieutenant Roger Wagner. He and 3 IMPD officers helped rescue a family of 3, and today talked to reporters about going into that burning building.
As soon as I turned to go into that little hallway to go outside it, that's when I met with that, I'll describe it as a wall, as we'll see it, but a wall of smoke and heat. And I must admit there, for that few seconds there, I thought I might be in trouble.
Wagner and the IMPD officers were checked out at the hospital for smoke inhalation. A 40-year-old woman and her 16-year-old daughter who lived in the apartment where the fire started were rescued by firefighters. The mother was taken to the hospital in critical condition. Investigators believe unattended food on the stove caused that fire. They say smoke alarms in that unit were not working.
Now to Democracy 2020 and the race for Indiana governor. Democratic Indiana State Senator Eddie Melton announced his campaign for governor last night in Gary, and it's already clear what one of his main issues will be, and that is education. We caught up with Melton today in Indianapolis. He is the ranking Democrat on the Senate Education Committee and traveled the state with Indiana Schools Chief Jennifer McCormick. He says that experience gives him knowledge of what needs to happen in the state to best educate our children. Through a Republican supermajority, Indiana lawmakers voted to increase school funding by about 2.5% over the next 2 years. Melton said that number simply is not high enough.
Education shouldn't be about Republican or Democrats. It should be about our children. It should be about supporting them, giving our teachers the resources that they need, and paying them what they're worth, and making sure that children are safe in and out of school.
Melton is one of 3 Democrats who want to unseat Republican Governor Eric Holcomb, who is seeking re-election.
Temperature trend, and it's a dramatic change. Once we get to Friday and Saturday, oftentimes might be gradual, but in this case, temperatures will fall quickly. Friday night will land in the 30s. Saturday morning and only recover to 55 degrees. That's down the road. 2 more mild days, then the transition. Thunderstorms will mark that transition to cooler temperatures. How widespread the thunderstorms will be still in question. There's some breaks certainly in that line. Hopefully we'll get some rain. Right now, severe threat seems to be low. Not worried about that too much. We'll have some gusty winds for sure. Low pressure Friday morning will be over the upper Mississippi Valley around Minneapolis, St. Paul. Snow on the backside of that. We showed you the winter storm warnings that are out for the Dakotas and areas west. For us, some showers possible in the morning, that increasing chance for thunderstorms in the afternoon, and then into Friday night, likely to have some impact on Friday night football. In the afternoon hours Friday, 76. Now watch what happens, how quickly the cooler air starts to flow into the state. By the time we get to 8 o'clock, 50 in Lafayette, 61 in Indy, and then the bottom continues to drop out. We'll wake up to dry conditions, but temperatures in the 30s on Saturday. Tomorrow, a mild day, actually the mildest day in the entire 7-day forecast. Temperatures in the upper 70s, that wind out of the southeast, and we'll see more cloud cover than we have the last few days, mid to high level clouds. Temperatures Friday, the warm air still across the Hoosier State, but you see the dramatic shift to much cooler temperatures off to the west, and that's when that'll roll in here on Friday night into the morning hours Saturday. High temperatures early in the day. I think as clouds increase and the showers and thunderstorms develop, that will keep temperatures from warming too much from the mid 70s. 7 a.m., lots of clouds around, maybe some early day showers. 1 to about 7, we begin to see showers and thunderstorms, especially over the western portion of the state, expanding in the evening. 11 o'clock, ongoing rain and some thunderstorms. Then by the time we get to the morning hours, quickly zipping off to the east and the cooler air flows in. Friday night football, we've had several great Friday nights for football. This will be a questionable one with temperatures falling during the evening hours and the threat for some lightning, which could cause some delays as a result. Temperatures are coolest on Saturday, 55. Sunday, we jump 10 degrees back into the mid 60s. Temperatures across central Indiana only in the mid 50s on Saturday. If you're headed to college football anywhere in the state, very cool. We'll dress differently Saturday. Find the coat and bundle up.
And bundle up.
There you go.
All right, thanks, Kevin.
Need it.
Hey, the Colts continue to get kudos for that big win over the Chiefs.
Brad Brown has that and some more midweek football.
It was all about the defense for the Colts in Kansas City, and former Chief Justin Houston led the way. Today, named the AFC Defensive Player of the Week. Houston had 4 tackles Sunday night, including a crucial 4th down stop late. Also got a sack. The Chiefs QB Patrick Mahomes, he had played the previous 8 seasons in Kansas City, so doubly delicious on that one. He won this same award twice while he was there. And a good evening, everyone. Some of our area's smallest high school football teams are having some big success this fall. A Thanksgiving weekend game at Lucas Oil Stadium for at least one of them is not a stretch. It's a trio of 1A unbeatens in tonight's Sports Extra Spotlight. 3 very different teams with 3 very different paths to success.
2 claps and a red flag.
But all 3 have been punching above their weight class this season. It's just the 7th year for football at Traders Point Christian School. Last year's 10-win team had no seniors, so everyone is back for an impressive 6-0 start this time around.
It's paying off really well. We have a lot of good energy together, that we all know each other. We're all working really well together. We didn't lose anybody, so it's the same thing as last year. He's picked up right where we left off and kept on going forward.
When we were freshmen, we didn't even have a winning season. The school hadn't had a winning season. So it's just been really great to see how, the school has come and how far we have come as a senior class. We've picked up some people along the way. It's just been a great time. It's been super fun.
The Tinley Tigers have just 21 players on their entire roster, but it's turned out to be the right combo for a 6-0 start, scoring more than 40 points per game.
During the summertime, we kind of were unsure if we were going to have a team or a team, and then just towards the end of the summer, having everybody come together and everybody coming out want to play.
We a family and we know how to work together and everything. On Thursday, that's really when we got to dial in because we know we got a game the next day. And on Friday, it's just all day through school and even after school when we got to do pregame, we all focused in doing what we got to do to get ready for the game.
Lutheran has won 3 straight regional titles, 4 in the last 5 years, but they're still looking for that first trip to state. The Saints are also 6-0 for the first time.
What makes it feel like is our preparation and the energy we have. When we come to practice, we come and we get things done. And before the game, we're ready. We locked in. We get locked in and we're ready to go.
We have just a little bit of everybody doing their part and wanting us to be as best as we can. Last year, we were kind of a young team with a whole lot of juniors, and then we just came into this year and just kind of let everything click. Winning is an expectation, and we all know that if we don't come out here to play our butts off, it won't happen. So we all come out here with high intensity and ready to go.
There are also 3 more teams with a 7-0 record in 1A. That's South Adams, West Washington, and Southwood. By the way, Lutheran and Traders Point play one another next Friday to close out the regular season. Lutheran and Tinley are in the same Class 1A sectional grouping. The state tourney draw comes up this Sunday. IU and Purdue are both home this weekend. I'll look ahead to those games coming up for you tonight at 11. We're right back here to finish up tonight's news at 6 after one more break.
I'm so grateful.
What a great evening for a walk. Enjoy. Temperatures change big time as we go toward the weekend. We'll be down to 60 by 11. That's Alvin. Say hello to Alvin.
Hey, Alvin. Alvin's adorable.
Hey.
Alvin and the chipmunks. That's what I think of right away.
He's looking for the chipmunks.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us here at 6 o'clock.
See you at 7.